Christmas, Evelyn came down to breakfast early, dressed in her street suit. She had made out a neat little card containing a list of the names of her relations and friends that she wished to give each, and what she wished to give each one of them, and in what department she was likely to find the articles in question. Evelyn's very appropriate nickname was Method, and in teamwork, she and Maine were known as Method and System. Now, these two aunts I knew. I loved these two women. They were just amazing. They could make you feel like you could do anything, be anything. They were just delightful. And my youth really was enhanced by these two ladies.
And I was named for Aunt May.
Mm-hmm.
So
Eleanor had indulged her feelings for 2 days by singing her parody about Christmas, carrying on her shoulder a sign bearing the slogan, "Down with the Same Christmas." But this morning she was leisurely sewing a gold braid on an old rose China silk lampshade, which, by the way, I just found at the thrift store. I'm serious.
That's crazy.
Eleanor never hurried. Whatsoever she did leisurely, and the rest of us might fret and fume, but Eleanor remained cool and calm, and everything seemed to await her good pleasure. I verily believe that even Christmas would have been postponed had it been found necessary to do so. I found such a delightful little novelty shop yesterday, Nay was saying. She was not reading the newspaper this morning. Thus does Christmas upset hard and fast routine. You're allowed to wander around among Christmas novelties until you're ready to buy. I found just what I wanted for Sandy. It's an advantage to be forehanded because you have plenty of choice and the cards are still fresh and clean. Marian sighed. She was beginning to realize that when one shuts the door on companionship of interest, she opens the door to loneliness.
I love that saying.
However, she had a busy day ahead of her, and she was soon speeding westward on the Metropolitan, thinking no more about her momentary deflection from principle. By the fourth day before Christmas, the house was festive with wreaths. Mysterious conferences behind closed doors were the rule of the hour, and even Marian began to find herself athrill with excitement. Mother's room was devoted to finished packages, and every available surface was covered with white tissue paper bundles, tied with bright cherry-colored ribbon and labeled with cunning seals and cards. The big wooden box, packed skillfully, but not yet to the full, stood at one side, and every gift for Fay and George and Bowman had been inspected, passed upon, and hugged before it went into the Pittsburgh box.
Just a second. George is the other brother of the...
Yeah, there are two brothers in this family.
Brothers, and the rest are all girls. And Faye is my other one I was named for.
Nice.
So.
And I knew her, and I knew her husband, George. He's the one who said I should be named Eleanor fell on her face McDonald. Yes, Marian's own room
And you should have
filled a
been.
mountain of toys contributed to her for the district gifts by friends. Evelyn's room was a workshop, confusion worse confounded, reigned supreme. There, everything came in the raw, Excelsior, empty boxes, tissue paper, hammer, nails, string, everything, in fact, that goes to make up a fun and secrecy. It would probably be the same this year as every preceding year, for in spite of the resolutions to do one's shopping early, it was invariably 6 o'clock Christmas Eve, just as the first guests arrived, that Evelyn would tie up the last gift and in desperation close and lock her door upon the disorder. Father had decided to give Mother a Victrola for Christmas, and of course there would be some difficulty concealing such a bulky article until the moment should come for its presentation. A special meeting of the girls was called to discuss this point, and Eleanor said, "But aren't you afraid Mother will see it, and then they bring it into the house?" "No," exclaimed Evelyn, thrown for a moment off her guard. "Even if she does see them, she'll only think they're bringing in your shirtwaist box." A shout from the other girls and the expression on Eleanor's face announced that one preciously guarded secret was a cat out of the bag for sure. The day before Christmas dawned, clear and cold and crisp. A heathen Chinese would have felt the Christmas. I'm glad I've never had to read this to a heathen Chinese. Sure, I'm sure. In his bones. And Miriam
Was
was
no
not a heathen,
heathen
Chinese.
Chinese.
Before breakfast was over, she had forgotten all about principles of equal distribution, socialism, and everything else revolutionary. She only knew that if she could still get the things that she and mother and the girls wanted, Christmas be far happier than she had thought possible for 18 long days. That afternoon, a special messenger brought a big bundle to the house for Marion. It contained all the gifts which, though she had been quite determined she would not buy them, she had decided would have been just the thing to buy had she been going to give Christmas presents. When she came home that evening about 5 o'clock, she found the Christmas tree decorated and the first floor very pretty with its air of festivity. Bess and Will were piling the gifts around the tree, and the girls were still upstairs. Mother was sitting in the proposal chair. I wanted that chair. I cannot tell you how badly I wanted it. And my Aunt Evie had it. She had retired. She moved into another place, and she still had that heavily carved English chair. Didn't get it. But
Who has
I know
it?
what it looked like.
Who has it?
I have no idea. It went to my Aunt Ada's family, and she was not really a member of the family. She was sort of a sister to my Aunt Evie. It was always called the proposal chair because Eleanor declared it was the only piece of furniture good looking enough to be used for the purpose. Father, patient and contented, sat opposite in his big leather armchair. "Is that you, Marion?" And down they came, the three of them, breathless with it and excited. "Do tell us about the box that came out here this afternoon. Where is it? You didn't open it, did you?" "Of course we did. We thought it was a present for you, but now we're dreadfully curious. You said you weren't going to give us any presents, but there's everything in it that we want. Who is that darling little traveling clock for? Loosen up and tell us about those
Cunning little negligee
pins.
pins.
You didn't know you were going to give anybody presents." For one little hesitating moment, Marion was tempted to be cross. Of course, it was all her own fault, but it was a shame anyway for the girls to spoil her little surprise, and a frown had almost begun to wrinkle her forehead when she looked up and saw Mother sitting in the proposal chair, the soft red glow of the lamp falling upon her hair and eyes and hands. And Marion smiled. "Mother," she said, "honestly, Mother, you've got the craziest lot of girls I ever saw in my life." So that's it. And it's a simple story. So fun. So I'd be happy.